Welcome everybody to the Blizzard Esports Arena here in LACA. That's right, we're back with another day of Overwatch League. Doe and Monte Cristo here to help you kick things off. It's going to be fun when Dallas Fuel taking on the New York Excelsior. And, you know, Dallas, been going through some changes lately. A lot of different main tanks. We'll see what they've got in store for us today.
It's a surprise. Actually, it's not. They already tweeted it. They already tweeted it.
Oh, well, that's not a surprise for anybody. Well, maybe if you haven't been on Twitter, it'll be a surprise for you. Let's look at the season standings. Overall, New York can actually clinch their spot in at least the top 12, I believe, with a win today over Dallas. So a big game for them, even if it does end up looking a little bit lopsided in favor of them anyway. Still one they want to take seriously.
Yeah, and the XL, it's easy to forget that they've only lost 2 games in the regular season, both of them to the Atlanta Reign. So,
Weird, huh?
Yeah, they've been very consistent as usual in regular season play, even if they have been stumbling in the stage playoffs.
Yeah, and a big part of that has been Mono, of course, on the NYXL. This guy has been so consistent. You had him in your top 5 players in terms of MVP contention a little bit earlier. Tell us why.
Well, I agree with you in that entire statement, as in he's been very consistent in the regular season, and he in particular has stumbled in the stage playoffs. You look at his bizarre stage 1 playoff performance, and I think that's the biggest knock against him as a possible MVP candidate this season. Otherwise, he has been absolutely outstanding, arguably the best main tank in the league.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get these teams onto the stage, starting with our team from Texas. Let's give it up for the Dallas Fuel. And the Dallas Fuel taking the stage, and who's that? It's Taimou, that's right. He's back. It's been a long time, but I'm glad to see you back on the stage again.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know if we were going to see Taimou. Obviously been very outspoken on social media about his desire to re-enter this starting lineup. A lot of fans thought with his shot calling, he might be coming in at that Brigida position, but Mr. Good Aim himself will be taking over for AKM, it would appear, at least in the first map, on Control.
Taimou does have good aim. We've known that for years now at this point, but also having Harry Hook again in as well in that flex support role, a player that has been around the Overwatch scene forever. Part of that really successful Envious team way back in Apex and Korea before that too. But enough of that. Let's talk about their opponents, a team looking to clinch their spot in at least the play-in today, and a team that has only lost 2 games, 2 matches all season long. Let's hear it for the New York Excelsior. You know, sometimes people like to just say NYXL, but if you go to the distance of naming your team Excelsior, the word Excelsior needs to be said, Monty.
Occasionally, it's good to bust it out. They could have just named themselves NYXL if that's what they wanted to be called. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, they didn't. They named themselves New York Excelsior. That's right.
And that,
oh, I'm cold too, Sabiolby. I'm right there with you, man. It's freezing in here today.
Yeah, it is unusually cold, even for the aptly named Blizzard Arena.
Hey, it's all right, though, because I'm from the frozen north originally, so, you know, it's fine with me.
All right, just take off your jacket then.
I mean, I would, but the stylist would be unhappy with me, Monty. I'm getting kind of warm. Maybe I will later. And so, let's take a look. Let's back off to it and talk about Taimou. That's right. He's back after a long, long time in Hades. You mentioned on social media he was wanting to play again. Well, he's got his shot.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, he is a hit scan specialist. He was part of the Envy team in the pre-Overwatch League days. That was the first team in esports history to win a major tournament in Korea.
Yeah.
So part of that Western roster that took the Apex Season 1 championship, continued playing with Envy. And then as that team transitioned into the Dallas Fuel, he remained a part of that roster, known for his Widowmaker play, known for his McCree play.
Yeah, you can't forget about his Roadhog, too. He was a really, really good Roadhog player back in the day as well, but known more than anything, like you're talking about, for his hit scan heroes. And hopefully we'll get a chance to see that today in this new meta, in an era where everybody's swapping things up, trying new things. I think we could see it.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at our map set, brought to you by Toyota. See what these guys are going to be playing today. We're going to start things off on Oasis for our control map. Then for Assault, we're going to Paris. Then Hollywood will be Hybrid. And finally, Escort will be played on Gibraltar.
And now's the time to talk about one of the unfortunate statistics here for the Dallas Fuel. I think this is really an uphill battle right now. Statistically in stage 3, they're dying 60% of the time first in team fights.
Yikes.
which is it puts them in 19th place in the league behind Toronto. Meanwhile, NYXL are the #1 team of winning team fights when they get that first elimination. So NYXL win 58.6% of their team fights when they get the first elim. So I think stylistically, this is a pretty bad matchup for the Fuel. NYXL on top in that pretty important category.
On board with Taimou now, starting out, and that Sombra pick. Now, this was a hero we saw them put him on a lot back when he was playing more for the Dallas Fuel. It was kind of hit and miss, but he's had a lot of time to practice it, so we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, very different meta as well.
Yeah.
He's going to go ahead and wrap around the flank right here.
Jonak a little bit low here on that Ana. Taimou. A lot of damage being fed into that Zarya shield, actually. And see what they can do. Nice hack. Okay, on the Libero. Sawing him out. And Mono down, though. Note finds the pick. Note that recent addition for Boston Uprising. Been a big one for them. Sabiel will be down as well. And so Dallas Fuel with a real chance to take this point first.
Mono surrounded by the Dallas Fuel players. So yes, it does appear like they are going to have that opportunity to get the point first here. A little bit of a delay. Biotic grenade on Nene, though. Is he going to be able to stay alive? No.
Wow. Point blank rocket from Zachary to finish him off. And Dallas Fuel already getting that control percent rolling and getting a good amount to ultimates as well.
One of the things that Taimou brings to any roster is he's a very vocal player in-game, really likes to be one of the big voices, and he's also a very instinctive player. When a team fight starts, he kind of just operates off of his gut a lot of the time. Let's see if he can get a big EMP here, and he can.
Oh, with 3 people.
Yeah, not the best follow-up with the Barrage, but they're still getting the elims.
It's enough. They killed the main support. They killed the flex support. I mean, I'd be happy with that. Taimou comes in, finishes off of Nene, resets that Zarya charge, and yeah, great fight for Dallas Fuel. Almost halfway there to a first point take.
Yeah, looking really clean so far from the Fuel.
Yeah.
NYXL have been able to get an angle. Sabiel still here looking at well, not even at the EMP yet in this match. The shutdown has been pretty complete on this point from Dallas.
Well, it's weird to see a player like Sabiel take so long to build that EMP. He's finally got it now, more or less. Harry Hook in a little bit of trouble. Oh, we got bounced off the edge, though. I think he may have jumped off, too. Hard to say. Going in again, Harry Hook taking a lot of damage. We'll see what happens. Jonak had used that nano boost, so pressure coming in from Mono. Mono going to pop the Primal Rage as well. Now Sabiel backing out. Hack onto Mono. That's going to make it a little bit tougher for him to be annoying. New York trying to flip the point right now. 80% already for the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, they're not putting on a lot of pressure right now. And even though Sabiel got the hack onto the nano-boosted Zachary, there wasn't any follow-up onto it. Still has the EMP, though.
Sabiel's just trying to get in position. Oh, but he gets EMP'd! Taimou comes in with the EMP before Sabiel can find a place to use it. Can Dallas win the fight, though? If they can win this fight, they'll take the round with one Mono down 2. I think that's going to be it. Nene had like 0 health. Got a little bit of healing at the end. Sleep dart onto Zachary. Gets finished off by that Zarya. Trill now going after Jonak on the Primal Range. Really worried about getting sleep darted, and I cannot blame him. Libera out of the mech, though. EMP now for Sabiel. It's a chance for NYXL to flip it back, and they do demech Note. Now the hack comes in onto Trill. Sabiel escaped with his life for the moment.
A really weird fight so far. Still 5 members, though, of the NYXL on the point. And they are going to flip it over as Trill standing on top of the gazebo in the center. And now Dallas Fuel have to go back, but they shouldn't be too concerned. They've got plenty of time to take that last 1% on the point. Libero chose to die instead of using the self-destruct. Nene holds on to the Graviton Surge.
Well, it's great for New York, right? Because they were able to win that fight, and they were able to win it with a lot of ultimates left over. And now Dallas Fuel, they've got time, at least, to build up some ultimates, come back with a stronger fight of their own. But you got to be a little bit nervous. It's so rough to be playing so well and then lose that fight that would have won you the round.
And Nene here on top, looking for that opportunity to drop with the Graviton.
Yeah.
Let's see the Diva, so he's going to drop it on Doom.
Nobody. It's a 0-man grab from Nene. That one is, that's a rough one. He's going to be remembering that one. But, I mean, Nene's grabs has been suspect all season long, so it's just kind of more of the same, unfortunately, for him. Now, Mono getting bullied out even when he has an Enabus on him. Here comes Taimou with the EMP. Only hits Libero, though, with it. Not much for Dallas to follow up on. Maybe with Zachary's rally, they can keep getting aggressive here. We'll see. Self-destruct used by Note, or used by Libero, rather. No kills out of that one, though. Note had used this previously. He's got the nano boost on him now to do a little bit more damage. Sound barrier comes in from Dallas. This is the fight they've committed to. This is the one they want to win. Trill separating members of the New York Excelsior, trying to make it easier for Dallas to pick people up, and he himself is picked off instead, but mono down. So Dallas still the chance to take it back. This has been a crazy barroom brawl of a fight to end this one. But when it's all said and done, Dallas is in position to take this one.
Yeah, Sebulbe, though, he's still on the back of the point, is going to fall eventually. Hacks coming in now for Taimou. Dallas should be able to mop this one up. It's a couple supports. They have to make a boostio simply to hold the point.
I mean, when the Nene Doomfish shows up, you know it's kind of the end times for New York Excelsior in this round here. Mono on his own, only so much you can do, and Dallas Fuel take that round first. Taimou looking really happy after that one, but I mean, hey, it's your first round back after a while. You beat NYXL. Gotta feel good. Long way to go, though.
Yeah, long way to go. NYXL also coming out of the gate super sluggish, really slow ult charging, a lot of mispositioning that allowed the Dallas Fuel to pick them off. You know, they're using that mobility that they have with the Winston and the Sombra and the Diva in order to collapse on the members of the NYXL that are out of position. I mean, without the Zarya in there, you really should not be able to do that if you are the Dallas Fuel, because you're basically relying on the enemy team's mistakes.
I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Because it looks like it's going to be a headset issue with Harry Hook there, but it's kind of weird because New York shows up every once in a while, and it just, like you said, they seem really sluggish. They seem like they don't really have a game plan. Then you got Nene, who hasn't honestly had the best grabs ever this season, getting a zero-man grab.
Well, this stage, I actually think Nene has gone really far down. I mean, at the start of this season, I think that his Zarya was quite good, but this stage, his Zarya has not been top tier.
I've always felt that his mechanics were good, but his grabs have been one thing that have always kind of stood out as something that he could improve upon, and you know, when you see that happen, well, you can only go up from there with grabs.
I mean, I understand why he made that decision. He was waiting for Note to enter the gazebo. He knew that the defense matrix wasn't there, and he thought that other people were going to be following up, but I think it was super optimistic and not the Graviton surge you want. I mean, surprisingly too, NYXL statistically, they're coming into this match and they've got nearly an 80% win rate, 79.7% team fight win rate after they use EMP. But the problem is that the EMP was so slow to charge that round from SBB, and maybe the Dallas Fuel have game planned around Sebulbe coming in on this Sombra, and they realize if they can keep him out, if they can make sure they protect their flanks and he's not getting a lot of farmed ult charge, they're not going to be very effective.
Well, speaking of Sebulbe, let's take a moment and learn a little bit more about the man, the myth, the legend himself, and his journey to the league.
Sebulbe, final boss of all tracers.
Great timing there, just as he comes out, he gets two! Sebulbe with three! Sebulbe going crazy right now.
Sebulbe throws a pulse and it's a wipeout! Sebulbe!
You need to time out.
Running amok!
For people that have only watched in 2019, you might not even be familiar with who Sebulbe is as the absolute legend that he was. He's the emotional leader behind the NYXL.
제가 이제 경기를 쉬면서 이제 벤치에 좀 오랫동안 있었는데 후보 선수로 많이 힘들었던 시기가 있기도 했고 고치가 계속 나올 것 같았고 제일 잘 잘할 줄 아는 영웅을 일단 트레이서니까 그걸 더 이상 플레이하지 못하게 됐을 때는 많이 허무했죠. 좀 힘들고 정말 힘들었을 때는 그만둘 생각도 많이 했었고 그랬던 것 같아요.
NYXL look clean in the finish.
팀원들이 경기를 뛰고 이제 오버워치 리그가 계속 경기를 하면서 앞으로 나아갈 때 저만 혼자 있는 느낌? 혼자 이제 정체된 느낌이죠. 다 같이 앞으로 걸어가고 있는데 저 혼자만 서 있는 느낌을 많이 받았어요. 격차가 이제 벌어지는 거죠. 근데 그게 현실이어서 많은 팬분들이 그립다고 했던 것 같아요. 다시 경기를 뛰게 됐는데 너무 기분이 좋은 것 같아요. 근데 그만큼 또 열심히 해야 된다고 생각도 하고 네, I'm so happy and very exciting.
Once again, the EMP comes through. SBB gets the job done.
Sebulbe back again, an icon in Overwatch.
작년과 다르게 올해 들어서 제가 좀 더 잘한다는 게 있다면 아무래도 손보라 플레이를 잘한다고 생각하고
It is thumbs up from Captain Sabiobi.
제가 원래는 트레이서를 플레이하면서 굉장히 자신이 있었어요. 근데 그 자신감의 근거는 연습에서 나오는 거라고 생각하거든요. 연습을 그만했으면 당연히 경기에서 자신 있겠죠. 근데 이번에는 손보라 플레이를 정말 많이 연습하면서 자신 있었다고 생각해요.
Finotion has been nullified once more by Sabiobi on that Sombra.
다시 경기를 뛰게 됐는데 집에 온 것 같아요. I'm coming home.
Wow. What a journey for Sabiobi. Come to that, but hey, man, I mean, I think his story honestly echoes a lot of the DPS players in this league right now. It has not been a kind meta for them until recently, and it's good to see some of these players coming back. Sabiobi, we got Taimou in today as well, so as things shift around, hopefully a lot more of these guys.
Yeah, it is fun to see a lot of players that we saw much more of last season, like SBB and Taimou back in right now, and hopefully that will be a trend we continue to see in the future.
All right, it's time to move on to the second round of Oasis. That's right, we're going to Gardens. See if New York can tie things up or if Dallas Fuel will take the map. Great start for them on City Center, but a chance now for NYXL to regroup.
Yeah, remember the Dallas Fuel, when they're running this composition, it does have, you know, they've got the Pharah at least to add that damage over. So you want to chunk them out. Point of this is you kind of follow the rockets from Zachary, and Taimou just going to get the hit onto Sabiobi on the flank.
There you have it, man. The 1v1, and Sabiobi goes down. Meanwhile, Mono has to flee. Libero has no health and no mech as well. Dallas Fuel winning this early fight again. Jonak finally gets a bit of revenge on Zachary, but Taimou right there along with Trill to harass him. Taimou's got to get out. Yeah, there we go. That was close, but pretty dominant first fight for Dallas.
I mean, very dominant. Double the ult charge here for Taimou because he's farming Sabiobi. And they're following the rockets. What you want to do with this composition from the Fuel is do the chip damage and then have the mobile tanks of the Sombra finish somebody off.
Mono is like, no health. Taimou gets him and translocates to safety. That kill on closer costs New York big time.
Taimou's gonna have that EMP so much faster though. Trill gonna take that nano boost and then pop the primal.
Yeah, why not? Just keeping NYXL at bay here. Taimou waiting on that EMP when New York finally does decide to group up and push. That EMP is going to be waiting for them. Now, Zachary did swap off the Pharah. He did go over to the Brigida now, too. It's going to give the team a bit more durability.
Yeah, it does give them more durability, and it says they're emphasizing Sabiobi. As we go in.
Only 2 people hit by that one. Not the greatest, but Sig will be a little bit low here. He used his EMP as well. Dallas taking a lot more from that one than New York did. Now the grab comes in. Nene getting a few people in it this time, and there goes Trill and Zachary. So New York looking like they're in the position to flip the point.
Yeah, the issue with switching over to the Brigida, if you are the Dallas Fuel, is yes, you have the rally and you have that armor to stick to the point, but the problem you have is that you don't have a lot of damage. You're really reliant on good target selection and shot calling because effectively Trill, Taimou, and Note all have to descend upon the same target at the same time.
Yeah.
The difficult comp to execute. When you have as much sustain as you have on the NYXL side, running those triple supports with the 2 tanks. Zarya providing so much more damage output protection than a Brigitte.
Absolutely. Here we go, J-Nack using the nano boost on the Mono. The Mano boost.
The Mono boost
That's
is
right.
here.
I'm gonna call it that from now on. Doing a lot of damage. Liberal's giving him that extra armor with the rally too. So New York just kind of, despite the hack at the end there, keeping Dallas Fuel from entering. Now the regroup. Oh, no down. Big whip shot from Libero to knock him off the edge of the map. Big environmental kill there. Libero going forward, and Dallas is going to need to take a bit more time. They've got time, but it's running out.
I mean, I agreed with Dallas when we were talking about having the Pharah switched over to the Brigida when they were already holding the point. But for the retake, I think you need the Pharah back. You need to slow push in with those rockets before you can do anything else. So I'm not sure about sticking to this composition right now if you're the Dallas Fuel. We'll see if Taimou can get that big EMP. He's almost there.
Yeah, he's been building them pretty quickly, but he's got no health right now. And there's the EMP from Sabiobi. Oh, they're down already. And
Libero.
yeah, that is that. Nice sleep dart though on Mono, but he's just gonna get to take a nap while the rest of his team cleans up. So that's kind of just a rest for him. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, they come in right there, do use the EMP, and Libero getting the knockoffs with the whip shot. So forcing Dallas Fuel back before they can kind of force their way through the choke point there into the staircase. Dallas, though, they don't overcommit. They just use nano boost, so plenty of ultimates to go ahead and attempt the retake here. How are they going to do this? Taimou. All right, so
that's
Graviton going to use aggressively.
Yeah, they're going to try to protect him with the sound barrier. Mono down, he jumped in, tried to get the pick, and he got picked instead. Now Trill moving forward, has he even got that Primal Rage? If he needs to use it, decides to pop it right now. And can they push New York off and retake? New York at 99% right now. This is a fight the Dallas Fuel need to win. And they do it. Trill, a little bit low health, goes down to about 50%, has to back away. Now the rally coming in for Zachary. Dallas do flip the point.
Yeah, they do, but right now, NYXL, they're waiting for the EMP.
Yeah.
Mono is back, they're moving as a unit right now. Nano Boost went out on the Nene, so he's almost got another grab as well.
They've been really good at doing a lot of damage to Mono, too. The focus fire has been pretty solid from the Dallas side of things. There's the EMP. Doesn't hit anybody on Dallas. No, only Trill, I believe, got hit by that one. Mono down, though, so Dallas responding well. Lots of damage from Nene, though, on this Zarya, though. No comes in danger of being DMAC. They're going after Libero on the rally, and nobody can get there. Dallas Fuel with the 2-0 on Oasis.
Impressive start for the Dallas Fuel. NYXL had that shot to take it, but the Dallas Fuel scatter did not get hit by the EMP and preemptively used the Nano Boost to keep their tank alive. So Dallas Fuel looking solid coming in.
All right, things are getting interesting here on Saturday morning. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with Map 2 right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
I started watching some streams of the pros, and the pros were amazing. And one of the biggest guys I saw was awesome was Hydration. He was part of the Gladiators.
Suddenly I'm at every game, and
the beautiful LEDs, the cheers of the crowd.
It shields up. It's thunderous applause. It's roaring in the arena. It's a lot of clap, clap, stomp, stomp. You just kind of get sucked into it.
And I've been hooked ever since.
Welcome back, guys. Check it out. Jonak, yeah, they may have lost the first map. That's rough. But hey, Jonak's got a new skin out right now, which is pretty sick. I got it yesterday. I felt my play improved already. 71% win rate as Zenyatta. That's slightly better than mine, I will admit.
And he does it at the professional level too, Noah.
Ooh, check that out.
It is pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
It is pretty awesome, you gotta admit.
I like it. They even have the fours on the helmet and everything. Sick. Yeah, well, but how about that? I mean, no matter what happens for the rest of this guy's career, he got to the point where they made a skin in the game about him. Like that's, there is no like higher pinnacle to reach in my opinion as a pro in this game. I mean, yeah, the accolades, the championships, the money is nice, but if you have your own skin in the game, that is super sick.
I prefer my call out, the world famous Monte Cristo on Route 66 personally, but
Oh, yeah,
that's fine. The skin's cool too.
That's definitely not about a sandwich.
It's definitely not.
Definitely
You know,
not,
there are things called double entendres.
They
though.
want-
it can be both things at the
They
same
want
time.
people to try you, huh?
Yeah,
Any-
they're actually
any-
forced to try me. That's
No
the
choice
best part.
anymore.
That's the best part.
You're in too deep. Going to Paris for our assault map. It's going to be a chance for the New York Excelsior to tie things up. I'm telling you, man, you'd think the people in that police station there would be concerned about what's going on literally right outside, but maybe Paris in the future is just cool with this kind of thing. I don't know.
It's a very dangerous place. This is normal now.
I guess so. Wow, yikes. I'd still go.
Well, Dallas Fuel, look at this, coming out with the triple DBS comp note, who has been showing more flexibility lately. Going to be on the Hanzo. Remember, Dallas Fuel has not been successful on assault maps overall. It has been their sort of least good map type that we've seen so far.
Boy, that's a rough start for Dallas Fuel. New York getting exactly what they want. That said, though, nearly a tick taken by Dallas as they try to put a bit more pressure on the point. They do take a tick. New York chasing people down, and you know what? Yeah, you're not going to take the point right here, but you've got a tick out of that. I'd be happy if I were Dallas.
I mean, you do get a tick, but you also stagger pretty badly. So there's two aspects to it. Yes, you're getting a little bit of an advantage now, but you also do waste about 10 seconds of your time. Also, that Wrecking Ball does give some more charge over to Sebulbi on the Sombra. So we'll see if that trade ends up working out well for the Dallas Fuel.
Taimou not able to build his EMP quite as fast as what we saw on Oasis, as of yet anyway.
Right now, they've just sent Brigitte back, so Libero back on the point to contest. Rest of them playing a more aggressive defense here on the forward point, not allowing the Dallas Fuel to push them back into the cover of the two buildings on the opposite sides of the point.
You got to get picks with this too, because you just don't have a lot of sustain on the point. Where's that going to come from?
Yeah, and this is why Trill has got to kind of roll out and touch it before heading back into cover. And this is why you see them playing so aggressively.
Oh, they've got Mono. Oh, they force the Primal Rage. No down, though. Mono getting the pick onto the Hanzo. Oh, Sleep Dart. All right. And they are at Primal Rage. Honey, I shrunk the Winston.
That's a great animation while I talk on the floor there.
That was awesome. I woke up and I was like 3 feet smaller.
Well, there you go. This aggressive defense is working out well for the NYXL. They're trying to hit them at the choke points right now. Ignore the Wrecking Ball on the back cap while Libero just fights him there with the sustain. Right. That comes with the Brigitte. Zachary now has Barrage, but he's got to deal still with Sebulbi and the EMP. Taimou worked up to an EMP himself. Dallas Fuel banking quite a few ultimates.
Now, will we see the proactive EMP from Sebulbi? Because it's going to be coming in from Dallas soon. They're going to put that nano boost down. There's the EMP. Use early. They get Sebulbi before he has a chance to ult. That's something. A hack onto Mono as well, and he's going to take a ton of damage. They're going to be able to get that pick, and that is exactly the play that Dallas was looking for. They didn't even need the barrage yet.
Taimou now has hit Sebulbi with the EMP on multiple occasions when both players have had their ultimates online. So Taimou, just getting him first and making sure that he has the initiative. Immediate focus by Note.
Libero down, and they've still got the barrage, but not anymore. To Consador, that said, the damage coming in. Sebulbi trying to get away. Nene down, Note gets the kill there.
They gave up the point, and they used the Graviton Search. Nene used the Graviton after the void had been taken, Doa. So they used the EMP and the Graviton. They are opening themselves up for a massive snowball on B. That is a huge mistake.
Those Nene grabs, not pretty lately. Dallas Fuel with a real chance here to get a great time in the time bank. New York trying to buy a little bit of time by regrouping here as the respawns come in. Zachary going in, got the barrage onto Libero, but he doesn't get the kill. He lives though, due to the nano boost and some nice healing coming in from Closer. Meanwhile, on board with Trill as they put Libero in the corner. He's gonna drop the minefield right on top of him here. Note with the self-destruct, doesn't catch anyone. Meanwhile, Zachary does go down, so Dallas feels struggling a little bit to win this fight, and it looks like New York is gonna stabilize. Bit of a lucky break for them there.
Yes, really lucky break. That could have gone south quickly for the NYXL. They do give up a point. They do give up 50% of control overall. But now Dallas Fuel is going to have to reset their ult economy. They need to change over to the 3-2-1. Taimou staying on the Sombra. I bet that's their plan for the entire match here.
Should be. I mean, and what we've seen so far, Taimou's been doing great on that pick. Back with the kill to Sabielby. How in the world? I don't know. Sabielby's Sombra has been a little bit suspect lately.
You know, it's been solid outside of that first match they played against the Outlaws, but it has been found wanting today.
It certainly has. Lacking so far here. I mean, they are still undefeated in the stage, but it's looking rough so far today. Taimou trying to search for that hack. Couldn't go through the shield. Now the EMP comes in onto NYXL, and they're getting wrecked once again. Sabielby hacked by the EMP before he uses his ult. Comes in now, but his team is dead. What are you gonna do? Left clicks are enough if it's a 5v2.
He's gonna get nano boosted and try and kill everybody.
Not gonna work.
Not enough.
And when the dust clears, that is a great time bank for the Dallas Fuel. Waiting for it to pop up here at the complete screen. Looks like they ended up with 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Great start for Dallas. We'll see if NYXL can equalize right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Der Kampf ist noch nicht vorbei.
Dallas Fuel again, starting out the map strong with 2 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock.
I mean,
solid stuff.
You're really happy if you're a Dallas Fuel fan and you just watched that. Assault has been so difficult for this team. And so for them to come into Paris and put together a decent attack is definitely something you're happy about. If you're NYXL, you're wondering what the hell is going on with these ults. Sabielby caught out multiple times while he has EMP. And to Dallas's credit, it does seem like their game plan coming in is trying to shut down Sabielby. But you've just got to be more careful. You've got to respect them more. Okay?
Okay. He's going to walk in. Just hit him. Did he even stop?
He doesn't. No, his shield bash was used to close the gap.
Yeah, he just
it looked like
get closer.
Yeah, he looked like he just made a mistake there with the timing of his translocator.
Oh my, that is rough. Well,
but I mean that's a very sad level of play. Dallas Fuel.
Look at this defense.
Yeah, going with Harry Hook on the May. Harry Hook, for those of you who are new this year, he has been known to flex onto DPS from time to time. Usually Soldier 76, it must be said, but Harry Hook is a very flexible player overall. Taimou back on the signature Widowmaker.
All right, well that's embarrassing.
I mean, there was a mine there, there was a trap there. What can you do?
You check for it. That's what you do because everybody in every ranked game from bronze up does that.
Well, it was a bit forward on the map, so it was hidden, wasn't right outside the spawn door. He knew where Sabielby was going on the flank route.
All right, I'm feeling
so
today.
Right here, translocator up. Okay, arguably should have seen that. Arguably should have seen that.
I mean,
but
let's move on.
I mean, Sabielby doesn't look like he's having his best day today, to put it mildly.
That's tough. I mean, we saw that second round of Animo down already. There goes Jonak and Zachary tearing it up, or blowing it up, I should say, on this Junkrat. They're going to get a remake on the Libero too, I think. No, not quite. He escapes with 50 HP on that mech.
That's going to be nice, though, because Jonak's going to get a lot of ult charge out of that with the healing of the entire mech, basically, to get closer to the nano boost. But XL, look at that. So far away. Only Jonak after 2 attacks with 50% of an ult charge. Dallas Field's been shutting these things down, these assault attacks down before it begins.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if they're going to get past this Bay wall.
Well, we'll see. They're going to give it a try anyway. Diving in now, the big dive. And there's a hook. Bring it in. Mono, and here comes the tire. Nice shot by Animo to take that out. Well done there by the Lucio. Trying to trap Libero there. They're going to get the freeze on him. And now the right clicks come in. Meanwhile, the nano boost used, but Mono has like no health remaining. Primal Rage right as he gets frozen. Gets out of it though. And Taimou down. So Mono does find a pick onto the Widowmaker. Can they actually get any progress on the point here with Animo down? It might be tricky. There goes Sableby as well. Nope, gets the hook. They're going to chase Zachary down.
That was beautiful use of the Winston bubble by Mono to avoid most of that incoming damage. Blizzard goes down, and you can see Harry Hook still alive thanks to the ice block. I don't think Dallas is, or New York's going to be able to get onto this point, though, and they're going to have to reset.
Dallas used everything they had there, so there won't be any ultimates. Meanwhile, New York's going to be coming in with at least the EMP in the grab.
This EMP has to be huge for them. Zachary, a real... okay, well, there's another reset. And the problem is this wall that the Mei has when you're playing low mobility heroes, because NYXL won't swap. Remember, they're playing Ana and the Zarya right now.
Yeah.
So difficult if the wall goes down to protect those heroes.
Peak Taimou playing forward on the Widowmaker, like I'm just going to chase down and 1v1 the Diva. Love it. Here comes the EMP.
I mean, they know it's up. That's why everybody's inside the building.
Yeah, that's right. All right, EMP used. Pretty big one. Taimou gets slept, taken out by Sableby. Now things start to turn around for New York here.
I mean, they do have a res, but they're not going to get it. Sableby was camping it.
Lucky he didn't die to that concussion mine there. Trill out of it. Mono in trouble, down to 100 health. But it looks like that's going to be point A. So in the end, Dallas not quite able to hold on, but they do have some good ultimates to get a bit of a stall on B going.
Closer went for the res, but Sableby was standing there.
Yeah.
And as he tried to swoop across to resurrect Taimou, ended up taking the elimination, but still lots of time off the clock now for the NYXL as they barely cap it. Nene with another Graviton Surge, hoping to get a better shot at using it on this attack round. Dallas, though, got the Riptire. They can shut this down right away if they need to.
I think they're going to need a great Riptire. Ooh, Nene nearly dead immediately here. But if that Riptire isn't great, though, support ultimate is going to fin. It's a hook into a sleep dart on the Mono. He wakes up right away, but here comes the Tire. They find anybody with it. Look around, Libero, ooh, the tire down, Libero finding it with the rockets before it can do any damage. Now it's on to Taimou to try to finish off Mono. Can he do it? Libero caught by the whole hog, but there goes Harry Hook. Another sleep dart comes in on the Mono, and Note just walks forward for the damage. He's got that Primal Rage, though, and so you can't quite finish him off. That said, Dallas, come back, Taimou with the double kill on the supports, and Dallas is gonna hold for just a bit longer.
Taimou comes out with the clutch headshots that they needed. And that means that they are going to continue this defense here. We'll take a look at Taimou's perspective on the 2K. And Animo dancing on the side right there. Jonak trying to retreat.
It was tough for New York because you're trying to dodge all those Junkrat mines too at the same time, and then you've got the Widowmaker shooting you when you pop out from behind cover.
Well, NYXL's trying something different by having Libero on the Diva, so they're actually going Brigitte-less here.
Yep.
And they want that Diva to stop a lot of the long-range spam that's coming in with the defense matrix. And of course those Widowmaker shots, but Libero also just gets quickly debacked.
Zachary with another tire now. Here comes the EMP from Sableby. He's got it locked and loaded.
I think they're gonna wait for the remech though before they use this.
Maybe.
And Dallas's positioning is fantastic. They're not giving them...
oh, Sableby finds him! Or Taimou finds him, rather. Taimou with a kill on the Libero right after that, too. Are you kidding me? This is a great performance by Taimou today.
Well, that translocator.
Yeah. All right, he saw the translocator, but still.
Yeah, he pops out right in front of him. Taimou is ready.
So aggressive.
He's been taking a lot of really aggressive angles, and this is what you know Taimou for. He's one of the most aggressive DPS players you can have. You live or die by Taimou a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He's confident in his ability to hit shots, so he's gonna play super aggro.
He's even like searching for Sableby too, shooting into the flank, trying to get a lucky shot onto that Sombra. Because if you do it, hey man, that's a red eclipse for days, right? Zachary the Tire still didn't have to use it in that last fight. Note's getting close to a whole hog as well. Now, Zebubi, it really comes down to this EMP. Where's that Tire? Where's it gonna go? Find him, both of them been shot down so far. And nothing with that one. The Tires have not come up big for Zachary yet. Here comes a whole hog. Libero, D-Mac, and Jonak in the corner. Oh no, Mono trying to save him, but the shield down immediately.
That was a great play by Mono. He body blocked into the shield to save the supports. That is a hero tank play.
No kidding, that saved their push right there. If they take B, it is because of Mono right now, but they might not with Jonak down. That's a rough start for New York on the attack, and they're down to 1:20 here. Taimou dueling with Sabilby, and Sabilby has to retreat. He took too much damage. Another 1v1 by Taimou. There's a Primal Rage coming in though, and now maybe Dallas in a little bit of trouble. Harry Hook down, but Trill gets a kill on Libero. Mono just searching for anything he can, and he's gonna have to get out of there. Yep. A minute left for New York.
NYXL struggling today against the Fuel. Fuel coming out with an unexpected roster. We've seen Trill get increasingly more play. We saw Harry Hook play last week, but Taimou is due, and now NYXL, they are on the brink here of losing on Paris and going down 0-2 in this series.
Dallas has always been really good at coming in with creative and effective defenses too. Like this is, you're really playing on Dallas's turf when you're running into them in a situation like this, when they can play that Orisa. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, they knew what XL is going to be doing as well. XL has basically exclusively been playing the Sombra. They're
what a
not
firing line.
Yeah, and look at this. They're just not giving them any opportunities to get good EMPs off because they're always so split up.
Yeah. All right, mana boost in action again. Sabilby down though. Zachary finds a kill right away, and here comes the Tire. Is he gonna get anybody? He got the D-Mech onto Libero. The Tire finally finds it. Mark, it's Mark. Grab used by Nene, but nothing. They get nothing out of it. And New York is gonna get held right here. It's gonna be a 2-0 lead for the Dallas Fuel if they can just clean this up, and it looks like they can. Taimou with one. Harry Hook joins the kill feed as well. And as overtime expires, we are in a 2-0 situation for the Dallas Fuel.
The return of Taimou, haven't lost a map yet. Dallas Fuel coming out big against one of the league's best, NYXL. Now in a position where they have to run it back, send us to map 5 and reverse sweep if they want to win.
The original Moo crew is back, the Taimou crew.
That's right.
Halftime coming up after this break, guys. Don't go anywhere. It's gonna be sick.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
the Dallas Fuel have struggled here in Stage 3, but they're trying to turn things around here with a huge upset over the NYXL in this one, and they're in good shape right now, up 2-0 at the half. What's up, everybody? Malik here. We got Zoe. We got Brent. It's halftime. Guys, what is this Dallas Fuel team that we're seeing right now? Where do they come from? Where have they been?
They're coming straight from the bench, and they are on fire, and it's beautiful. I couldn't be happier. This is what we talked about during our pre-show, and it's just so nice to see those players back on stage, and they're outperforming every expectation we initially had, really.
I think a big part of their recent success is the fact that New York, they seem unprepared coming into this match, honestly. I feel like they weren't really expecting this composition. We weren't really expecting this composition or players to be in for them. And I think the biggest signs that you can see of them struggling is New York having Libero in, Libero having to flex over to the Diva just to deal with a lot of Zachary as well, playing the fire on that projectile role. But a big shout out to Taimou as well. This guy's just been biding his time, biding his energy on the bench, and he's just unleashed his Sombra onto the world. And right now, he's having a great game. I think statistically as well, he performed almost twice as many hacks as Sabiobi did in this first map alone.
And we got some Widowmaker too.
We did indeed. And honestly, I do think that the Dallas Fuel did an absolutely fantastic job in shutting down the Sombra from NYXL. I think in particular, Sabiobi died almost the most of his entire team. Jonak, I think, was a close follow there. So the two big playmakers didn't get to do any plays whatsoever. It was very good focus fire from the side of Dallas Fuel. They were very coordinated in following up on their big MPs as well as on their hacks. So overall, they look fantastic.
Yeah, you can feel definitely that they're putting a lot of trust into Taimou as an individual. And Taimou recently put out a tweet saying that, you know, the old Envy squad, what made them so great was the amount of trust they had in each other. And it feels like a return to that type of, almost like a return to that kind of form as well. The plays that Taimou's pulling off, Monty was mentioning it during the game as it was going on. Very aggressive angles on the Widowmaker in particular. And really sort of pushing them out. As you can see here, look at this. Just the minerals of the man to take that kind of engagement. He doesn't destroy the chance, okay? He stands in front of it and goes for the kill onto Sabiobi. Like, realistically, there's not many players in the league have the confidence to do that, especially coming off the bench like that.
That's true. When you think about it, though, it's really smart if you're timing because that way you know where you can expect that Sombra to be. But heads up play by Mr. Good Aim, indeed, there, Brand. Okay, well, let's move on. Last week, Sideshow and Monty gave us their picks for the T-Mobile MVP so far. And Brent, Zoe, this time, I want to hear from you guys who your picks are. So it is time for our T-Mobile MVP checkpoint. Now, let me explain how this works. Let's take a moment to, kind of go over all the brass tactics of this because it's a little different than last season. On July 25th, we will reveal our top 5 MVP candidates who will be nominated by the GMs by 20 teams. Once we have our top 5 locked in, you guys get to vote on which player you think deserves the award the most. You can vote on Twitter using the hashtag OWLMVP and the player of your choice, or through our new voting system on Twitch. The winner will be decided by your votes, as well as ballots from the media members, coaches, casters, and analysts. We'll announce the winner during the season playoffs here at the Blizzard Arena. So, Zoe, let's start with you. Can you share your top 5 MVP candidates with us and maybe let us know who we should be watching out for in the MVP
here's
race?
the thing with this whole MVP thing. Every time someone pops off on the stage, I feel like, oh, that's my MVP now. So right now, I'm upset that Taimou is on the list. But for now, I had to go with Sinatra, Fury, Adora, Eamon, and Prophet. I think throughout the entirety of this entire season, each of them have been performing on an incredibly high level. Specifically, Adora is actually one I want to mention here because, yes, he's playing Brig, all right. Doesn't sound flashy or fancy or anything, and it's even hard to make a statement for any Brig player out there when it comes to the numbers because they are very, very, very deceiving. Shaq's also a great guy. However, here's Adora, and Adora, he's been really standing out on Brig and every other hero he played, but specifically how much interruption he brought to the table with that Brig, how many great stuns onto very crucial moments of the games he got in. That's what really impresses me. He has an insane awareness of what's going on around him.
A Brig in the MVP race. I love it. I love it. It's
wild.
Good pick, Zoe. All right, Bren, I'm a little bit afraid.
A little bit scared? My list is actually pretty standard, honestly. Okay. I decided to go away from where a lot of people were moving, where they're looking at the damage dealers in particular. I'm looking at the tank lines, I'm looking at the support lines for a lot of these teams.
Okay.
In particular, I've got Troy, I've got Slime, I've got Gushui, I've got Ding, and I've got Fury as well. I think these guys are really the key players for each of these teams and the reason they're seeing so much success recently. However, there is one player I do want to talk about who's not in my list, who is in this match, who is slowly rising up in terms of the rankings, and that's Mano.
We were supposed to pick one from the list.
I mean, I'm not going to pick one from the list because this guy is close to replacing someone in my list. And I don't know who that is yet, but Mano is an individual right now. I feel like right now in Stage 3, this is the hardest meta right now that we're in to have a good performance on main tank. It's so incredibly difficult when you're up against Sombra players. They're hacking you, they're stunning you, you're getting slept by Annas. I mean, again, you guys probably know if you play it in your ranked games as well. Yeah. It's difficult. You're getting frozen over and over again. It's a hard time right now if you're a main tank player. But Mano still manages to get unreal efficiency out of the main tank role. He still manages to get a big impact in the matches as an individual. And I think that's super impressive as well. And it's the fact that he's been a staple part of this team for so long and kept up such a consistently high level of play that makes him an MVP candidate.
All right, I like it, man. I like both of you guys had some solid picks. Brent, I was a little scared. You had me a little fearful there, but that was good. Solid. All right, well, some hot takes here today, but for all you at home, we want to hear from you. Who do you think is the MVP so far? Use that hashtag OWLMVP and get casting your votes already. We got, what, a few short weeks? So make it happen, guys. But anyways, the Dallas Fuel, they're currently up 2-0. This is a reinvigorated team with Taimou at the helm. We're going to see if they can pull off a huge upset of the NYXL in just a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Nerf this. Apagando las luces.
Wow, you know, normally I'd be like, oh, there's a mistake in our graphics, right? They got the like score mix up. But no, Dallas Fuel up 2-0 over NYXL. I mean, what can you say?
I think there are a few things going on here in this match so far, Doa.
Sure.
First off, we can talk about the poor play coming out of Sabyolbi and the poor ult usage coming out of Nene. These are certainly factors.
Definitely that.
But part of this is a reaction to the meta that we're seeing develop. So many teams, including the NYXL, in fact, started this stage by the NYXL pulling a typical diva player and then replacing it with a DPS. We've seen the Valiant do this as well. And Dallas has come in and said, okay, if you're not going to have a diva, or at least a competent diva, we will force you to play diva, which is what's happening with Libero right now, because we're going to run spam comps. We're going to play Junkrat. We're going to play Widowmaker. We're going to play Pharah. These are heroes that you need that defense matrix, and you need the mobility to get on top of in the back line. But if they don't have a diva player who can flex between the Sombra and the diva at least a nominally equal level, this is going to be a problem for the NYXL.
Well, it certainly has been so far. As you can see, Dallas has taken our first two maps. We're now going to Hollywood for our hybrid map to see if Dallas can close it out right here. Can they get the 3-0, or will New York start the comeback? But I think your point is really interesting, actually, that making Libero play the Diva, a hero that he's not terribly strong on, is just making things even better for Dallas, right? Because not only are you still getting all that damage in there, but you're forcing someone onto a hero that they're very uncomfortable on, and they've been able to exploit that. Not to mention, Taimou legitimately playing great today.
Yes, and that's the other factor, is Zachary and Taimou. Zachary's tires haven't been great, but...
It's hard to get him in there sometimes.
Yeah, Taimou and Zachary, I think, have been standing out, partially because, again, good individual performances, but partially because of the game plan the Dallas Fuel have coming in is making them shine because they are exploiting the NYXL.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, coming into this match, NYXL won nearly, what, 70? They won 77% of their team fights using Ana and Sombra compositions. So they were dominant with this strategy, and it just, all right. Well, I guess we can keep doing this, guys. We can keep doing this, NYXL.
They're back, guys. Harry Hook and Taimou, man, they're back. Big pick on the save. He'll be right off the bat, and that's going to be a 6v5 for Dallas Fuel as they try to take a quick point A. Mono low. They had to use the armor pack on him to keep him up, and now Jonak at half health as well. It's rough. Dallas can just walk on the point, force New York to come to them. That's what they're going to do, but Animo nearly dead already, and there's a hack onto Mono. They're going to be very close to finishing them off. And either way, it's making it so hard for New York to contest this point right now.
And they're playing Winston on a retake, so the Reinhardt's already there. You've lost all of your advantages that you have with the mobility. Sabielby does get a huge pick there, though.
He's back, too. Finds a big one onto Harry Hook. That's right. And a lot of low health members of Dallas Fuel now. Things slipping away. They've got 2 ticks. So unless they can win a fight in a big way here, that's all they're going to get. Zachary hit with the anti-heal for the second. Nene did get hacked.
Taimou there with an EMP.
Okay.
Another stun onto Sabielby. He was shield bashed.
He got too close, and Zachary took advantage. No down, though. And now Taimou comes in with the EMP. Nene and Libero got hit with that one. Another hack comes in onto Mono, but they need more damage. They've got the armor from the rally, but they need Note's grab. Right now, the Nene grab comes in a bit first, but New York can't really capitalize. Now Note, Harry Hook, closer. They've all got the ultimates, and they might not even need them to close it out. Dallas Fuel takes them a little while, but they get it.
And Taimou just charging the ult faster, gets the EMP. Mono decides not to use the Primal Rage. He was hacked, but then he jumps out. Looked like he got stunned again.
Wow.
And lost the opportunity to use it. But the problem is when NYXL is playing Winston Sombra on that defense, you're doing the damage on the approach, right? You're separating the Reinhardt composition with lower mobility. You're driving a wedge between them. So if that doesn't happen, because Sombra dies instantly, you lost your chance to charge an EMP quickly. And then you have a retake, which is just a nightmare. Now you're fighting into this again. I mean,
well, all right, they got Nene, but Trill tried to go for the charge into the grab, which is what you see. He got taken out on the way by Jonak. Jonak down now. Taimou comes in with an EMP and revenge. Now Libero getting chased away. So while that push looked a bit shaky from Dallas at first, they get the kills. They keep it going.
Well, they saved the Graviton Surge, right? Sabielby now with an ultimate. Finally, he took him nearly 2 minutes to charge that EMP because of the first death. And Dallas Fuel, they're not slowing down. They're playing around the snowball that they know they created off of that initial death from SBB.
Wise to do that. And the Shatter comes in. Oh, they do knock down Nene, but not really close enough to take advantage. Now Sabielby comes in, and it's a quick kill on Trill as the EMP opens it up. Taimou trying to find out with Sabielby. That time, Sabielby finding the upper hand, and Dallas going to get pushed back to spawn, and a bit, finally, a breathing room acquired by NYXL.
Yeah, it took them a long time, though, to stop the snowball that was coming in. Finally able to catch up when it comes to the ult economy, but they have a Transcendence. That's a good late stagger. Taimou was being a little bit cheeky there. He was trying to wrap around the flank and charge his ultimate while the rest of his team was regrouping at the choke point by the spawn.
Yeah. Confidence is a double-edged sword, as they say here.
SBB is camping him again.
Yep, trying to be annoying here. Now he's coming in. He's not very close to the EMP. Meanwhile, Zachary does have the rally, so Dallas can push forward. Closer got hacked.
Huge amount of ults here, though, for the NYXL.
Dallas with a couple crucial ones, though. Might be able to survive the damage if they use them at the right time. There's a rally. Now the grab comes in from NYXL. Nene catching quite a few people, but the sound barrier comes in. Can they keep Libero alive? They can with Jonak's Transcendence. And it's a stalemate of ultimates. It's all said and done. Animo, though, still has that sound barrier, and Sable will be very close to the EMP. Taimou again, looking to hit it first. He's gonna do just that. EMP comes in, Mono dropped the hammer, but got hacked afterwards. Trill down again though, and it's gonna be New York pushing Dallas back. They've gotten very good, point B, of killing Trill, I think.
Yeah, that EMP should have been saved too by Taimou. It was just a little too late there. He was trying to clear off some of the sound barrier, but the effectiveness had already come through with the eliminations the NYXL had been able to accrue. As things calm down right now, Dallas Fuel not with the most impactful ultimates coming into this next engagement. They're going to have to wait for another EMP or the Graviton Surge.
Only a minute 40 left though. The time is starting to be a bit of an issue for the Fuel.
Question is Dallas Fuel wants to play the cart aggressively with Trans. They saw the Grav, they saw the EMP, so they can just try and win a fight here on payload.
True.
With Transcendence and push it just a little bit that it has to go.
That's true. Trill again, trying to find a big shatter here. He just kind of threw it in last time, didn't end up catching anyone besides Nene with it. Here we go. Trill gets his Zarya shield, goes forward, Note a little bit low as well. They're going to use the Transcendence. They are going to be aggressive. Shatter gets used. They knock down Mono, but they can't get the kill, and now the grab for Nene responding, and they don't have the Transcendence for it. That's an easy fight for New York, and now just a minute left for Dallas.
If they had gotten there a little bit faster, they would have been right about that. The Grav would not have been there for the NYXL, and they could have used the Transcendence aggressively. They mistimed the ult economy of the Excelsior, and that's the result, right? You don't think he has that Graviton. That's why you're going in with the Transcendence in the first place, to set up the Shatter.
Right.
But the counter grab was there. Note now with the Graviton Surge, however, and Jonak also used his trance to cover the Shatter, so it was partially effective for the Fuel.
Well, I mean, New York knows this. They have to go in with the EMP. That's what they're going to do. They're going to win another team fight, and Dallas desperate now.
I think they're in a good spot. However, Graviton and EMP should be up for Dallas.
If they can get there.
Yeah, there's not going to be anything there for the NYXL. Let's see if they can get there, Doha. They're running.
Well, that's the thing.
Taimou's going to be there. He's already there in position on the card. So the rest of the team will be able to catch up to him. He's just going to sit invisible until he needs to trigger overtime.
Okay, this is going to be right now. Stay alive, gets shot. Ooh, narrowly avoids
that. Was clever.
Under
that
was
was super clever from Mono.
Right. Forces a translocator. Animo gets hacked. Here comes the EMP. Mono in trouble. They're going to jump on him. Got to stay on the payload, though. We're into OT now. And there's the sleep dart. They're going to solo grab Nene after killing Mono, rather. Jonak in there, too, with the Transcendence. But Sable will be down. Dallas have opened up a chance to finish point B here. They just got to stay on the payload. They're going to do it in overtime. Point B taken.
And that was about the only thing the NYXL could have done. It was a smart shatter from Mono, but it didn't catch Taimou. He was ready with the translocator. So ends up getting out of a sticky situation. NYXL, Jonak, he was about 5% away from being able to save his front line there.
Did you
with
see
the
that
Transcendence.
Did you see that charge from Mono? He kind of vaulted off of the box and like made over the high ground the other side of the path. That was cute.
Yeah, neat little tech.
Enjoyed it. Uh-oh, sleep dart. Gets woken up right away. All right, Harry Hook close to the nano boost. Oh, he's gonna throw that right into the shield again. Trill trying to be tricky with these shatters, but Mono's having none of it. That's not out of the way. There's an nano boost coming in. NA down. Yeah, Taimou finds a big pick there. Charge comes through, doesn't connect with anybody. Just knocks a few people out of the way. But they're getting more distance on this payload. The closer they can get it to the end of C, the better. Now the EMP comes in, though, and the anti-heal on both sides. Dallas Fuel, though, gets a shield, but that's a big shatter for Mano, rather. Zachary gets charged down, and that might be the end of the road for Dallas Fuel. They're not going to have a lot coming into this next fight.
Great patience from the XL, waiting out the nano boost coming back in with the EMP, and then nullifying the sound barrier thrown out by the Fuel by using the Earth Shatter.
All right, they got to get there. They know that they can't set Taimou up anyway. It's going to be all about how that grab works out. How many support ultimates can get used? Taimou desperate to try to get the EMP. Mono comes in with a charge onto Zachary. Taimou uses the EMP. Trill down, though, and it's just not working out for Dallas Fuel. The payload's going to get stopped right here. It's all cleanup for New York Excelsior. Easy shatter onto Taimou at the end, and that's where the payload stops. So New York, shaky on point A, but looking pretty solid on B and C.
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm the Fuel, I'm going to be much more invested in my defense anyway, because that's where their spam comps have been working out really well for them. So I expect to see the Junkrat again.
We'll see if New York can win a map. They've got a chance. We'll see if they can make it happen. right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
NYXL gets a hold on point C. Gives up 2 points. But like you mentioned before the break, Monty, the thing you really need to worry about when facing the Dallas Fuel are those airtight defenses. And point A is like Orisa, Shield, Spam Comp, El Clasico, Positiono.
Well, and here we go.
Yep,
The
this is
Chengdu
it.
Hunters have invented this Ashe defense on Hollywood A.
I'm not surprised at all to see Taimou play this.
I'm not surprised either.
Ashe is like a hero right up his alley, man. It's hit and scan. No doubt he loves this one.
And it does provide the opportunities for mid-range damage combined with choke points to get some good dynamite play in the mix. And also just the verticality gives you a lot of options for repositioning with Coach Gun.
Have you ever tried to crouch walk like that in real life? It's basically impossible. Like it's, you need like quads the size of like beer kegs to walk like that.
Got to be Saquon Barkley. Okay, got it.
Pretty much. Yeah. I'll work on that. I'm almost there. You can't see my bottom half on camera, but trust me, my quads are massive. And on that note, let's see what Dallas can do on this defense.
I don't even know how to take that.
I know. Monty, lost for words. It's not often, but I'm always happy when I can make it happen.
Well, here we go. Will Sabielby change over when Libero is already going to be okay? So they are going to run the Diva here. Sabielby on the Brigitte. You know, that was a place that the NYXL started this season to a certain degree. And wasn't working out great for them.
It's great dynamite from Taimou. We hit a lot of people with that. Libero gets demeched even. That's what, this dynamite does serious damage. It's scary if you get a bunch of people in there, and that's a nice halt. Sabielby nearly down though. Oh, and there goes Mono. All right, Dallas Field missing health on a lot of people. They lose Harry Hook. The healing going down. It's a lot we're closer to half to handle right now. It's tough. Taimou has to back away. New York Excelsior getting some position on the point, and that might just be A right there. It looks like it will be. The damage was just overwhelming in the end from New York.
Taimou gonna get a mech, but it's just not enough. Harry Hook going down early, jumped on by the NYXL.
That was such a close fight. That one really could have gone either way at the end there, but New York, I think, with that extra healing, just kind of pulled through.
Well, once New York closed the gap onto the point and the Brigitte healing gets activated, that's when it becomes really, really hard. You gotta get some eliminations before they can take over and force you into the cafe. But Dallas Field, you know, they're not gonna change anything up right now. They've got Bob, they've got some dynamite, some chip damage here.
You can go for one Bob defense, and then you can swap up to something else. Bob basically just a mega turret, essentially.
Bob is not doing anything.
Oh, he's you know, zoning. He's a zoning ultimate.
Bob is zoning.
Yeah.
Bob, zone something.
Bob knows how. He knows how to play Overwatch. It's a zoning game. Hey, zoning is something. Something has been done. Bob has completed his mission. Well done. Mono with the Primal Rage. Gonna go ahead and use it, going after Harry Hook. That's dangerous. Here comes a tire. Can Zachary find one? No big tires yet today, and that's
nice
gonna be it. Jonak so accurate. Why he's got a skin. Here we go, and now Nene with the grab. Finishing off the fight. The Transcendence came in, but not soon enough. At the same time, he's got to swap it. I think now you got to see some hero swaps on the Dallas side.
You're not going to keep up with this. Objectively, Widowmaker is much better on this point, or Sombra, than the Ashe because of the longer range. So you want to use that Widow. You're just holding on to it out of some bizarre belief that Bob would in fact do something.
He tried.
I would have swapped to Widow immediately.
Something doesn't mean something good. Something can be good or bad. Bob always does something. Simply down early. 6v5 for Dallas Fuel here as Trill pops the Primal Rage. Jonak way in the back, which is the safest place to be. That's the Zen.
Trill just using that to separate some of the members and get a team fight win. In a neutral conflict, no ultimates online for either team.
Yep.
We're going to start trying to charge that up. Mono, though, he's going to get the better end of it as he is closer to his own Primal. Taimou got some decent charge off of that, considering he just switched over to the Sombra.
Yeah, I mean, he's nearly halfway there to the EMP. I mean, as far as people we've seen come in and just play the Sombra this stage, he's certainly doing pretty well.
And so many ults about to come online for the XL, though.
Oh, there's a stun on the Mono, getting backed away by Zachary there. Mono has to flee to the rooftops, a place where Brigitte cannot follow. Oh, but Trill down to the Afterlife. Jonak gets a big pick there, and there goes Zachary as well. Point B gonna get taken by New York, and they're gonna have a lot of time in the time bank as well. This is concerning.
I mean, that's great positioning by the NYXL. They wrap around the side, and they attack from the direction that the payload needs to move, which forces a retake attempt. So NYXL, they know, hey, we're gonna have a lot of ultimates online. They need to play into us. If we take this positioning and they're playing into us, we get the most value out of Rally. So they end up getting away with just using Rally to take the point, knowing that the Fuel are low on ult economy. EMP coming in.
New York's still pretty good. Self-destruct prevents Taimou from engaging, and Trill gets caught by it. Now the EMP used anyway by Taimou. Tries to find the kill, and Jonak can't do it. They do find kills on a couple other members of New York Excelsior, and this is the moment. This is the chance for Dallas to push forward. New York having to give a bit of ground here, and with Animo down, they're gonna have to back off to spawn. Oh, an exit kill on Mono would be so rough for New York. Luckily, they've got the Zarya shield for him.
Yeah, it was instead exit energy for Nene.
Yeah.
Using that bubble.
He'll take it.
ZBLB made the late switch. With 3 minutes left and not that far to go, you can absolutely afford just to switch over to the Sombra and use that EMP as a guarantee to get the last few meters.
Yeah, Close's got to do a good job of hiding here. Can't get EMP. They're going to use the grab. Going aggressive here. That's going to bring out the Transcendence. Counter Shatter comes in, and a lot of members of Dallas get EMP. There goes Harry Hook at note, and that payload almost at the destination. Taimou stalling it out just a little bit. Hey, they need every second they can. Closer comes in now. He gets a sound barrier and a lot of people, but they can't get aggressive off of that.
Taimou's still stalling the cart in the back, by the way.
He's doing what he can, but there's just not enough people getting on here. Zachary, no health left after the Zarya shield goes down. Now here comes Trill. Note and Closer down already, though. Trill needs a massive Earth Shatter if they want to even have a hope of keeping this going, and he dies during the animation, and that is it. New York on the board with a win on Hollywood.
Excellent final push by the NYXL, cycling all their ultimates against the EMP, which forces the EMP out of the Fuel, meaning that they have the Sombra ult for that last push. Ends up with a big win for them as they start to claw their way back into the match.
Well, you had to be crazy to think Dallas would take it easily. We got a match. Map 4 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, everybody. Dallas Fuel dropping Hollywood to New York Excelsior. And like I said before the break, if you thought this was going to be easy, you haven't been paying attention, right? Because New York is still a great team. They're undefeated in stage 3, all right? And yeah, I know they lost to Atlanta weirdly twice in a row last stage. But
those are the only losses.
I know, right? But despite the 2-0, despite the dominant fashion in which Dallas got that, at the end of the day, it's still New York Excelsior. They're still going to make you work for it if you're going to have a chance at all.
Right, and they are capable of coming back as long as it's not a playoff match. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right. We should be safe. We're in the regular season.
New York fans know how this goes. Dallas trying to pull off a major upset here, and you know they really need this to fuel.
They do.
They've had a very tough strength of schedule this stage. They've dropped matches. Probably should have won one of those against Chengdu. Ended up losing both of them. And as far as overall playoff contention goes for this team, they've been slipping out of the top 6. They're threatening to fall even lower.
Yep. You want to compare Zarias?
I love Zarias.
Let's do it. Check it out. Nene versus Note. And Note, a little bit lower on the damage side of things, a little bit lower on a lot of the stats kind of things. But you know, it comes down to the grabs a lot, and although the numbers may look one way, I kind of would put my my favor over to Note for better Zarya the match so far.
That was also on Hollywood, so that's ignoring some of Nene's Zarya play on other maps, also maps where Note was playing D.Va and or Hanzo.
I agree.
In the first 2 maps of the series. So when we take a look at these guys, at least Nene was better on Hollywood, we can say that. A lot has been demanded of Note since his transfer over to the Dallas Fuel, as he has been expected to be much more flexible than he once was.
When we do the shot where the 2 little camera things come over next to each other, we need to have an explosion in the middle. And
that would be
AKM. Cool. It would be. AKM next season. AKM subbing in for Taimou. Taimou's had a great day today, actually. The Sombras look really strong. I'm a little bit nervous, honestly, for them to sub him out, because I think the Sombra's been great, the Widowmaker's been great, but Dallas going with AKM for Gibraltar. Do you think that's a strategic decision based on the map or something else? What do you think?
I think they want to
speculate wildly.
Okay, my wild speculation is they want to play 3-3 on this map because it's a very strong 3-3 map. And we probably won't see as much Sombra, if I had to guess, from the Dallas Fuel, which is probably why they're putting him in.
Sure.
I think AKM objectively a better Zarya player than Note, especially when we look at that performance on Hollywood.
I would agree with that. Looks like a little bit of a different defense anyway, though, unless they decide to change things up. They do have closer on the Batiste, Harry Hook on the Moira, so perhaps expecting some DPS to come out for New York here. Interesting. Zachary on the Mei as well, so.
All right, well, we got some weird stuff then. They probably will switch to 3-3 later on. And it seems like this is a high heal composition with the Batiste and the Moira, and they're going to try and isolate people in the underpass here, what we call the car wash.
Sure.
For the payload. And so here we go. Scout right now from the side of NYXL. You see Sabiel be running around and looking at that composition. I imagine he'll be quite surprised. Are they going to make a shift?
They can do the wall thing.
They can easily be cut off, though. That's the problem. With the Reinhardt in the front line, that Reinhardt can get cut off by the Mei wall. Sabiel be in the back here looking for that opportunity, and they're just going to wall themselves in. We've seen this.
It's kind of funny. You rotate the Mei wall, the Zarya shields, the D.Va defense matrix, and you just stand in that room, ice block, and you don't let the payload go past, because you can get close enough to the payload that it can't move.
Yep. So we have seen this strategy already, and they're going to be trying it right now. Just the ultimate stall play. It is super annoying.
It is, but they did lower the HP on the Mei wall section, so you can break through there a lot quicker than you used to. If you couldn't, this would be absolutely nightmarish.
It is kind of nightmarish already. Well, they got boop back. Actually, the payload gets back because they got a boop in there.
Yeah.
So they got a boop in there, managed to thread the right click.
Oh, Coalescence are just going to get aggressive with it now. EMP comes in. It's a lot of members of Dallas, and that at the end of that push. Yeah, that's
I think XL has seen that one before.
It's cute, but
I bet you a lot.
New York handling that one.
Yeah, I bet a lot of teams have been doing that in scrims.
Yeah.
It is cute. It did take a minute and a half off the clock, but you do have to swap, and now I know you're playing Mei, Dallas Fuel, but the snowball is on you at this point in time. Double sniper will be the swap up.
There's no snowballs involved with actual Mei. not aside from that one mode, it's all like ice spikes and things like that.
Yeah, it's much more brutal.
Yeah, it's very, very grim.
Mei doesn't play around. What a sadist.
Not at all. She was trapped in the Anarch for a while. It's rough. Oh, Zachary.
She probably went crazy down there, actually. It explains how cruel she is.
That like maniacal smile she has right before she plunges an ice spike into your cranium. Yikes. Double sniper for Dallas on the defense now.
I mean, she's basically like the equivalent of Castaway talking to Wilson, right?
A little bit. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. She's nuts. Yep. AKM gets killed on Animo too, so the sniper's been finding the pick so far. Jonak down 2, AKM with another one. So Dallas making this defense work, but AKM down. And the thing is Mono's going to be so good at jumping on those DPS heroes. It's causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, they're still not able to really push them off the payload, though. Mono's still staying alive, gets his jump back up, but not in time for Harry Hook to take him out mid-flight.
Yep. Should have known to say he was alive or something. Dragon Strike coming in. Sound barrier used by Animo. A little bit worried that they were going to be in position where they would need those extra shields. It does let the payload start moving, and that's another grab that hit nobody until Zachary jumped into it. Donation from Zachary, helping Nene out with those stats. There goes Trill, though, and now New York getting that payload moving.
They can't get the Diva right before she remax, so will get out of jail. Zachary now swapping once again, this time to the jump grab, but that is a huge EMP in the choke point.
Can he live? Nope. Oh, that's the wrong way. Oh, we did not know Zachary off the edge of the map. He tried.
It was just a distraction Primal Rage, though. The thing that was most important is that the prevention of getting them onto the payload. So the value there definitely for Mono on the Primal. He'll be back momentarily after the spawn move forward.
Nano boost onto Trill. They're really aggressive about this early defense on point C, but I don't know, man. They're eventually going to lose everybody, so taking a little bit more time off the clock, but was it worth the nano boost? Is Harry going to swap? I don't know. I don't think you do here. By AKM.
A lot of players would swap in this situation.
Yeah.
But this is a very fast time for the NYXL. 4 minutes to finish out this map. Huge amount of time. Zachary, though, trying to get close to that Junkrat tire. It has been sniped quite a few times this match already. NYXL have been on point.
Zachary has only achieved a single Diva DMEC with his rip tires so far today.
Clockwork would be disappointed.
Right, everyone's disappointed. Harry Hook gets rezzed by Closer. He's back in the fight now. There goes Nene. EMP comes in for Sabiel. They've already lost the Diva. That said, Trill down for Dallas Fuel. Trill down with Primal Rage available, too, which makes it even rougher.
Yeah, there's not going to be a great opportunity here. AKM going to get chased back towards the spawn right now. Primal Rage still available, but NYXL having to get out because of the tire. Oh, the trance.
I mean, the trance does not save you from tire damage if it's right on top of you. It saved Jonak, but Jonak's like, see ya, Libero, good luck, buddy.
I don't even know why they would go for that trance when Nene was still running back from spawn on the Zarya. Jonak selfishly wanted to live.
It's like, I'm more important than this Brigida. We don't need the Brigida. Seobi has to translocate out. Dallas still getting a little bit of a stall here, but Harry Hook down again. That said, Nene uppercutted into oblivion by Zachary, and the res comes through onto the Zenyatta for Dallas Fuel. Maybe a chance to stabilize a little bit here. Harry Hook picking up a kill.
XL has spent the last minute 15 seconds feeding. They've been feeding ultimates, they've been staggering themselves, they've been trying to make aggressive plays when one of their players is walking back from spawn. They never realistically had an opportunity in any of those fights. So you end up blowing your ult economy based off of some really poor decision making, honestly, from the XL. They could have come in with a much stronger bank and just pushed the payload to the end.
Ooh, but Jonak finding that big pick on AKM. Yeah, they got the res, but still, that's that kind of long-range threat that Jonak presents. Almost underlining my point right there with a near kill. Libero down, though. Note comes in so aggressive on that Demon. There goes Jonak. Zachary finds him with the spam, and Dallas Fuel going to be able to defend a bit longer, down to less than 2 minutes for New York in the time bank.
Well, NYXL's made it easy for them. Now they're going to have another Junkrat tire. Potentially an opportunity to do something big right here. They've got the self-destruct Primal Rage combination, which can push people into the big damage from the bomb. SBB does have the EMP, though. But I'm not sure he's going to get a great chance to use that. You see Fuel spreading very far out right now to avoid the fate of a big EMP shutting them down on their defense.
Zachary has that tire too.
Nene's on Diva now. Okay.
Yep. Interesting. swapped off to the... Sorry, that is puzzling. They're gonna go into the EMP. Here comes the tire. Zachary needs a huge one. Oh, he tries to go for the kill on the Mono, but it gets missed. Nene gets D-Mech though, so that is something at least. Trill with the Primal Rage now. Here comes Mono, jumping in, a little bit low health. He's gonna get taken down. Jonak gets a kill in the area. AKM popping off with a pick onto him as well. Down to 6 HP, and he dies in front of the spawn door. Here comes the Zephyr play. Zachary swaps over to the Bastion. Players with Z names and switching to Bastion at the end of Gibraltar. Name a more iconic duo. Well,
You know,
I know you can, but I just want to say that.
Normally, Doa, when you yell, "Here comes the Zephyr play," everybody
I
just
know.
cringes. But in this case,
That's
it's
the one
actually a good
situation.
thing.
That's the one situation. Zephyr, clutch Bastion. Zachary, clutch Bastion.
Here's another situation, though, where the NYXL have been forced into the Diva on a player who doesn't play Diva. And guess what? The Dallas Fuel have burned almost 4 minutes off this point C as a result.
It's been an insane defense on point C. I mean, I thought this one was going to be over a long time ago, frankly. This round, at least. Libero's going to have the rally here soon, but that self-destruct is going to be just so great by itself in terms of zoning New York. All you've got really is the Winston shield. All right, Closer with the Mercy ultimate, getting all that AoE healing and damage done. Trill, really close.
Yeah, Sabi will be nearly at the EMP, so let's watch SBB right now. Did farm up, a little bit of charge out Harry Hook. They waited out the Valkyrie, and now Closer's gonna change to Ana. That was very smart.
Cassie will be going in, here it is, EMP, hits Zachary, oh, he goes down! No tire available, Note can't use his self-destruct either. That said, Nanny down, Trill finds one at the Primal Rage, and now they've got the Batista trying to kill that Immortality field, and that's it! New York and hell, they stepped off!
Closer played that so well. He used Valk early on that defense, managed to save Harry Hook when he got jumped on by the Sombra. Then he went back to spawn, switched to Ana, threw a bio grenade. Then he went back to spawn, switched to Batiste, threw out the Immortality field. Then he went back to spawn and switched back to Ana again. That was some crazy swapping from Closer.
This is one of those things you only see really at the end of Gibraltar because the spawn is so close to the defenders. You can do those crazy swaps.
You can see the cart and the end from the spawn door, so it makes it very easy to go back and make those swaps. But that was some smart play by Closer.
Yeah, and that opens the door now for Dallas Fuel to actually win this series in the next round. They don't even need to finish. They just need to get it most of the way to C. There will be no time bank. Dallas could win it right here.
And they have that opportunity. Still, though, their attacks have been a little bit weaker.
They certainly have, yeah.
And definitely their strategy this time, if you look at what the coaches from Dallas had planned, they wanted that Mei stall strat to go a little bit better than it did because it only got a minute and a half. If that had gone better, then they wouldn't have had to have such a heroic defense on C. But even so, the late swaps again, punishing the lack of the Diva player. This has been a really interesting game plan from the Fuel. I'm not sure it's going to be enough now because of how far NYXL got, but maybe it will be.
We will soon find out. Dallas Fuel on the attack, on the verge of potentially defeating New York Excelsior, a team that has only dropped 2 matches the entire season so far. And Dallas at 10-10 on the season. It would be big for them to get back with a winning record here.
Yeah, they need this win. They really do. It's been such a tough stage for them.
We talked about the importance of the win for New York as well, that if they're able to win today, they guarantee themselves at least a spot in the playoff play-ins at the end of the season, at the end of Stage 4. Mono. Oh no! Oh, the humanity! No!
Sleep dart there.
Rated T for T.
Just murdering defenseless animals in the line.
Hey, he had it coming. He was aggressive. It was self-defense. He was sleeping aggressively on the ground. So snoring was getting on my nerves. I don't know. Well, the payload moving. Good start for Dallas so far as New York retreats to the server room. Oh, Mono getting jumped on again. Can they finish him off? They can. Mono again. The focus fire on the main tank of New York has been great.
They've been waiting for him to walk onto that payload. Now it's getting a bit desperate here for the XL. Dallas Fuel, the attacking Junkrat. You don't expect that one, but they're running with it.
That's right. Closer goes in, pops the ultimate here. AKM, he's got the Dragon Blade. Gonna go and use it, or Dragon Strike rather. Nene down again.
I mean, how do you stop this though? The NYXL were not expecting the spam coming in from the Storm Arrow and the Junkrat grenades on the attack.
Yeah, who does
like,
that?
how do you live if you are mono? Like, you have to go in, right? There's not, you must do it, or you must go on the payload. But if you don't have that diva there, again, what are you gonna do?
You know,
what are you gonna do? You need help. You need that defense matrix.
Another story here, too, is that the Houston Outlaws, weirdly enough, are actually rooting for the Dallas Fuel here right now, because a Dallas Fuel win would put them in a better position, put the Outlaws, rather, in a better position for the Stage 3 playoff picture.
Yes.
Interesting to consider. This is Sable the EMP. Here comes a Tire. The Tire gonna get anybody. We'll see. It's been rough so far today. He's gonna wait out. Oh,
that was terrible. Onomo just uses the sound barrier. It's easy to wait that out with the Junkrat Tire.
AKM down. The nano boost onto Mono. Doing work now. Safe will be taken up by Zachary, so that payload is still going to move after Libero dies here, and he does. Mono back. Oh, nice sleep dart. Oh, they woke him up. Harry Hook's like, guys, come on. I slept a primal raging winds. He had to run away anyway, but still, it's the thought that counts.
All right, here we go, finally. Libero onto the Diva. Big question if it's too late, though. B is almost complete for the Dallas Fuel. They have the Valkyrie to push through these doors.
It's definitely going to be able to be tougher to push through now.
And then he's going to have a huge graviton, but can he get through Note's defensive matrix? Yes, he can.
There's a grab. Trill, they're trying to keep him alive. Libero nearly gets D-Mac. He does, and Trill lives. Trill gets hit with the bio grenade too, and they finally finish him off. So they will be getting that crucial pick in the end. Note's going to get D-Mac, but the res comes in. You're right, onto Trill. Another Tire, so fast. All right, where is it? Oh, and he gets Mono right on top. There was no defense. And that could be the end of point B unless this EMP from Sable changes things with your Zari out of the way. I don't think so, man. Zachary just killing everybody on this Junkrat.
And now the Dallas Fuel have even more time than the NYXL had at point C. It's been even faster. NYXL has to mount an even better defense, and they haven't had an answer to the long-range spam comps that we've seen from the Dallas Fuel today. AKM now can make some room with an Infrasight.
I was going to say, on top of all that, they're going to have wall hacks from that Widowmaker ultimate.
Yeah.
He's going to use it right now. Zachary did swap off the Junkrat onto the Brigida, which is probably a good idea on this third stage here.
Well, part of it's because Sabielby switched to Tracer, so the mind games are there. Sabielby now went back to the Sombra.
Widowmaker. All right, let's shield down. So AKM can't get through it. He had that Infrasight. He had Nene lined up. Nene now on the Widowmaker, by the way.
Yeah, the Infrasight put them in one fight territory, though, to push the payload. That was its real purpose.
Yeah, they're a little bit low. Mono in trouble here. And Note, he has got self-destruct. He's going to use it. Self-destruct engage, forcing New York to get away. They're going to get the D-Mac, and they're going to get Geronimo with it as well. Oh, the closer. Caught with the self-destruct on the New York side. They're not out of it yet. Jonak onto the Ana, and Ariel getting chased away by Mono. That nano boost deadly, and New York finds a place to stabilize.
Just barely.
Ooh, that was close.
I think if Closer hadn't died there, the Valkyrie would have been enough to push the Fuel over the top. AKM, another transition. After you use the Infrasight, it pushes the payload just near enough to the end, and now you've got eventually an EMP. 3 minutes, plenty of time. Plenty of time for the Fuel.
They've got some room to work with here. Rally used early on. Harry Hook gets jumped on, but he's got that rally armor. They anticipated it. Sleep Dart maybe going in. No, it's going to be the nano boost onto Trill. They're forced to fall back, though, to finish off Mono, and now they go forward. No main tank for the New York Excelsior here.
Yeah, he's going to spawn before this ends, though. That's the
thing,
problem. He's going to come back with Primal Rage, so actually that distraction may work well for NY.
Dallas used everything, and now the EMP comes in onto Trill, Zachary, and Note. Note going to get D-Mec'd immediately and taken out. Not going to live through that, so Dallas is going to have to back away. There's a lot of ultimates used for not much gain.
I think it's fine, though. Like, Dallas Fuel, look at them. They're coming up on an EMP themselves, so this is their chance. They're going to have a few more pushes.
True.
You've got the EMP now. Should be feeling okay. Question is, do you have enough damage? Again, we're back to this conundrum where do you have enough damage with just a Sombra to move through the sustain of the Brigitte, the Ana, and the Lucio? Jonak going to be hiding here around the corner, wants to get that nano boost off. They know the EMP is ready.
Yeah, I'd be hiding too. A little bit of aggression on the high ground from Mono. There's a hack on the Sableby. All right, that could be a big one. AKM looking for a chance. Here's going to use the EMP. It's Sableby and Mono. I think they needed more than that, though. The nano boost comes in onto Mono. AKM not going to be able to get the hack. Trill and Zachary down already. That was not the EMP they needed.
AKM was greedy. He got a hack onto Sabiolbi, but that let them know where he was. The immediate response from the NYXL was have Mono jump onto Harry Hook because they knew it wasn't a threat anymore. They were able to get the nano boost off and clean up the back line. So you try and sneak those little plays in there, get the hack off before you EMP, but it also gives your opponents information about the location of the Sombra.
1 minute for Dallas Fuel. It's do or die now for them as AKM swaps over to Zarya. They're going to use a rally to engage. Note's got the self-destruct too. Big bio nade on New York. 4 people hit by that. Jonak already down. The closer or the Animo sound barrier comes in. Note goes for the self-destruct, scatters people, and there's going to be able to be so close to the EMP. If he can get there, if he can use it, it can bail New York out. Trill in a pretty good position though. There's the EMP, and Jonak with the kill on the AKM. So New York going to be able to push back Dallas again, and Dallas is going to have one more desperation push to try to close out this series.
Are they even going to get a Graviton though, Doa? Sound barrier is their closest ultimate. Meanwhile, Rally from the XL is going to keep them in the fight, slowing them down here. Sabiolbi getting as much EMP charge as he possibly can.
Smart. AKM takes a lot of hits coming in here. Trill swapped over to the Reinhardt, so it's going to be a slower approach onto the point. They have to find a way to get there. They're on the payload now. There's a rally. New York just has so many more tools right now. Just the sound barrier for Dallas. Maybe the grab. They got to get on there. Okay, sound barrier used by Dallas Fuel as they move forward here. Animo a little bit low, but they back away. Now nano boost on Mono and Zachary down. Trill gets taken up by the charge, and the shatter doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter because they've already got so many crucial members out of the way. This grab needs to be insane, but it's not. There's the EMP to seal the deal. Nene taken out, but that's going to be the end of it. We are going to map 5. New York holds.
And this has been a crazy series. Very interesting strats. NYXL pull off an even more epic defense.
Yep.
It was on the razor's edge there for a little bit. Both teams holding for over 4 minutes on C, but the NYXL just a little bit better.
Exciting series, and it comes to a conclusion when we come back from our break. The 5th and final tiebreaker control map. Dallas Fuel, New York Excelsior. One of these teams is going to take it. Find out who that is when we come back. Guys, we are going to the fifth, the final, the tiebreaker map between the Dallas Fuel and the New York Excelsior. It's been a crazy series. New York on the verge of reverse sweeping, and as we look at them doing that, I think it's worth checking out the Atlantic Division standings right now and what all this means.
All right,
I've been
let's
told
see.
it is.
What does it mean?
There it is. Well, New York, as you can see, they'd love to move up to 5-0 for Stage 3. The Outlaws, though, at 4-2. So keep in mind, if the New York Excelsior lose, that will put them only one game away from the Outlaws. The Outlaws having an actual shot if you factor in the map differential of maybe overtaking New York by the end of the stage. It's a crazy theory. It's a crazy thing, but it could happen.
Yeah, also, a victory here would clinch it for the NYXL. It would clinch a spot in the Stage 3 playoffs. So Excelsior playing for a shot to hopefully not disappoint us in the Stage 3 playoffs.
I have learned to not hope, but New York...
I've been burned too many times.
That's right. I've seen too much, Monty. Either way, control map early on, that one went to the Dallas Fuel. That was with Taimou in, though, and they don't have him in this time. AKM still in, as far as we know, for this fifth and final map here. And New York's biggest issue, I think, in that tiebreaker map, or in the first control map, rather, in Oasis, was that they just looked sloppy. And they didn't look sloppy as much on Gibraltar.
And you know, if we look at the history of the NYXL, their strength has always been in-game adaptation. They don't have to change their comps most of the time. They change their tactics, and that was very true last year and continues to be true this year. So they're sort of like the Borg. Like, they will adapt in enough time. And I think...
They will assimilate you.
They will assimilate you. So I think the Dallas Fuel, their strategy, they've been using it, has been effective. Zachary's back on the far, and now AKM will be playing the Sombra this time.
Okay, yeah, so gonna go for the Pharmacy with the Sombra as well. A little bit of
so they're
2-2 action going on until right now.
Yeah, they're gonna see this, and they're going to realize they don't, in fact, want to play Reinhardt into the Sombra Pharah.
Trying to bump Animo off the edge there.
And instead, they are going to be forced back onto a Diva comp, which is exactly where the Dallas Fuel want them. And
they want Libero on that Diva. He's been underperforming on it a little bit today. Hack on a Mono to start things off. AKM making his presence felt. The Dallas Fuel will get the control percent building early.
XL have to get onto this point, though. They need to get down to cover away from the many rockets of Zachary. And that's where they want to force the retake. So Foley out the tanks. That's what's going on for the NYXL. That's where they have the advantage.
A lot of saluting, but not as much rocket connections from Zachary as he wanted. You prefer to have that barrage by now. Gotta avoid Jonak too, man. He might kill you. Or you might kill him. One of the two things might happen. He lives, or nothing. As barrage is up now, and meanwhile, New York just rolls over everybody on the point.
Yeah, you're not too upset, though, if you're the Dallas Fuel. You got 24% for free, based on their flight from the point on the first time where they went to change compositions. You got a bunch of old percent for AKM. You're gonna be feeling good about coming back in now with the EMP barrage combo, which can clear off the point.
Yeah. Should be in a good spot to retake. They can execute. AKM dodging everybody, gets detected, gets booped around, has to translocate out.
That's enough time for Jonak to get trans. That's the really big thing, is that the race was complete and the picks are now complete.
Well, Mono's down, but they lost AKM, so no EMP. Probably have to wait for that one. We'll see. They're going in now. And they has the grab, though. Rally used on the New York Excelsior side as well, as Dallas decides to walk onto the point. Try to take it back. They've got 6 ultimates. Here's the EMP. It's a lot of members of New York into the barrage, but the defense matrix there to absorb a lot of that. Not as much damage done as Zachary would have preferred. And now the grab comes in. Note self-destruct. Finds Mono somehow. And Dallas trying to flip this one around. They've lost a lot, though.
And crucially, they got Libero before he could remech, but it just isn't going to be enough, Doa. No. They don't have the tanks. The problem is Dallas Fuel's tanks die first in the grab. So you don't have any way to stay on the point running the 2-2-2.
Yeah, you lost the meat of the composition when the Winston and the Diva went down, and can't really take a point with a Pharah. That's the thing, is if you have the point, Pharah's great. If you don't, not as great.
Not as great indeed. Well, AKM still on the Sombra, not close to an EMP right here. It's one fight now, and they've got a Primal Rage. Not looking great for Dallas.
Not so much. They're just going to chase on Harry Hook. He was alone. There's nothing he can do. just separated from the rest of his team. Closer, ooh, he tried to maybe go for a res. I don't know. He flew right to the self-destruct there. That was rough. And it's going to be Primal Rage anyway for the airborne kill, but Libero denies it. That's a pretty dominating round for New York. Only 24% taken by the Dallas Fuel.
And the only reason they got that percent was because NYXL went back to switch comps.
Yep.
So NYXL with the right read on the situation ends up with a really clean point by focusing the tanks of the Dallas Fuel and just committing to controlling the point.
When you're running that Pharah comp, and we saw them save up for that large ultimate fight, it didn't work out. Think they should have just swapped there?
I think you always can go back, but they were already playing from a deficit, and so resetting the ult economy to go to 3-3 might have been rough. I'm not sure it goes well either way.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're going to Sanctum. Dallas Fuel, AKM on the McCree as they try to tie this up, gives themselves a chance to win this series. Otherwise, the reverse sweep will be complete by New York Excelsior.
XL know what's going on. They're just rolling out with Libero on D.Va this time. They know exactly what to expect. But there's a lot, if you're not a D.Va main, to contemplate here. You've got to deny a lot of damage from the McCree and the Hanzo. You've got to deny the halts. You've got to deny the sleep darts. Like, if you aren't an ace D.Va player, this is a nightmare comp to play against.
See what Libero can do. Meanwhile, Dallas getting some early control on the point, but not taking it completely yet. They have to force New York away. Libero down to about half health. Mono just getting some free ult charge up on the high ground. New York flipping it now, and yeah, with the kills on the node. Libero D-Mech, but New York is going to take it first.
So, great sleep dart there. Actually sets up the kill on Esports. This could be a bit of a turn now, especially since Mono also going to fall.
There goes Libero. Nene, low health in there, and he doesn't have his personal shield. He used it early, and Dallas will flip it back. Only give away 12% to NYXL.
Can't get hit by that sleep dart. That was the crucial ability used there by Harry Hook. And that means Mono has to jump in. Again, he's jumping in alone because Libero had been demeched early in the fight. Yep. He has to go into a, McCree and a Hanzo. It's not fun. Not fun if you're a monkey.
Yeah, that defense matrix only lasts so long, too. You can only protect that monkey for a limited time. He's on his own at some point. Oh, wow. Flashbang, I think, connected right before the Zarya shield did. Now the Dragon Strike goes through Nene. Ooh, that was a close one. Thank you, Mr. Winston. Blocking the Deadeye there. Harry Hook in trouble.
Sports in a little bit of trouble right there. Note again, D-Mech on the side.
Yeah, Mono down, though. Good start for Dallas here in this fight. Yeah, there's a D-Mech in just a second. Yep. Out of the way. And they're going to keep holding. Nearly 50%. A nice kill by AKM onto Jonak. Dallas looking really good so far in this round.
I'm surprised that they had this composition ready on Nepal, the 5th map. Normally, we don't see as many tailored strats by the time we hit map 5, but this is definitely, again, the same thing to mess with the XL. Save will be uncomfortably on the Brigitte Libero, very uncomfortably on the D.Va.
I mean, I suppose this is something you can kind of potentially use on Gardens or something like that too, but it's just something you practice. When you get to that point on that map, you got it. Dragon Strike coming through here. This is sound barrier for Dallas Fuel. Sound barrier on the New York side too as they get aggressive. Harry Hook down. Mono finds him, isolates him, and barely lives to get back to his team.
Mono!
Note self-destruct. They keep Mono alive, and New York's going to get the point back.
Finally, NYXL able to retake this point. But how are they really going to be able to stay on it? You've got the supercharger with the high noon, the Deadeye. Self-destruct able to zone them off. 10% is all the fuel need. So now an aggressive position here, trying to play around the choke point, the NYXL. Need to generate some Primal Rage charge here.
And with as good as the Dallas Fuel played early on in the series, it'd be tragic to drop it here. But New York is New York, man. They're one of the best teams in the league. And you got to bring your A+ game if you're going to beat them, and that is not going to be a one fight for the Dallas Fuel. New York buying themselves more time and showing some perseverance here today.
Yeah, Trill trying to use the supercharger to put enough damage out so that NYXL wouldn't play aggressively with the grab. Look at Mono. He got about 60% ult charge off of that Graviton Surge.
Yeah.
Setup has been there. They know they have to be so clever with their ultimates, and part of that is banking them properly. It happens for the XL.
At the end of the day, you can drop maps early, but if you're clutch enough, you can still win that series. And that's what New York is showing us. It's Not going to be the best map differential, but hey, if they can take it, a win is a win.
But Dallas, they swapped late. I think they should have swapped to this composition if they were going to do it before that last fight.
Yeah. No self-destruct. Dallas is trying to force New York away. Mono. Primal Rage. All right, Sig will be down. He'll get a kill early, but that self-destruct not getting a whole lot for Libero either. He's going to get demeched immediately. Libero down. Dallas feels a chance to retake here. Jonak just trying to get it to 99% if he can, but that transcendence not going to last that long. Mono on the high ground again, trying to build up another Primal Rage. Dallas do flip the point back again, but that grab is coming fast for Nene.
He's supercharged. NYXL are back at 6 right now. What can they do with this? Sound barrier coming in. Graviton Surge, they want that opportunity. They're going to try and laser down Note Spec first.
It is so scary for Dallas Fuel right now, but they get Mono. AKM finds the damage, and now the grab comes in. Dallas has come to play. They are not done just yet. They're winning this fight, and if they win the point, they'll take us to the very last one on the very last map. Libero out, and we are going to the final round. Maybe Jonak, no, he can't get there with the Transcendence, and we are going to the final round here on Nepal.
Wow, very close. But now we're going to the last point of Nepal, and I think it's going to be a bit more tricky to run one of these strategies that we've seen from the Dallas Fuel on Village, but they can run the Mei again. They can run the Mei again.
They could run the Mei. We've even seen a lot of teams run the Pharah on this point too, but it's another one of those situations with Shrine that we saw earlier where if you don't take it, if you're not the defender, that Pharah becomes really difficult to execute on. So we'll see what they've got. For the moment, looks like just straight up 3-3, and that's a bit scary. Sable B, meanwhile, on the other side, has the Mei locked and loaded. Interesting.
So XL is surprisingly going to be the one who uses the Mei strat.
Yeah, all right.
Huh. I do think it's smart, though. I do think it's smart because if they play 3-3, you're going to have an edge as you're going to get onto that point first, and you're going to be able to cut them off, as we see from the NYXL. And if they're playing those two DPS comps, you're still going to be able to stop a lot of the damage coming into the point by using the wall.
You're just waiting for Dallas to run in so you can cut people off at this point.
Yeah, Dallas trying to get as much spam damage as they can down early before the point unlocks, and they must contest.
But you're not going to take the bait. They're going to go in now. Yeah, traps AKM and Zachary. Zachary gets a stun, but he's going to get a whole face full of icy death. And that's what happens when you try to run past an AWOL.
There's just nothing you can do if you're not on the point first.
Yep.
Against the Mei. You must get your team onto the point before the other team does. Dallas Fuel, though. So what we've seen in the past is the way that teams historically have played against Mei, because we have seen the Village Mei resurgence recently, is to get a flank onto both sides of the point. And you want to put spam damage, the rockets and the Junkrat bombs, into opposite sides of the point to chunk them out.
Yeah, you can't wall both sides. But you can stop Zachary from coming out a door with the right clicks. Meanwhile, Dallas Fuel kind of sneaking this one. You got to get in and stop that eventually. There we go. AKM gets an opportunity to drop down and get some damage in from the other side now. That's the idea, right? Wow, he's touching the point too.
Yeah, they got a Blizzard though, so they kind of want them to go onto the point right now because they can just chuck a Blizzard down.
That's the idea. The grab gets used. They're going to toss the Blizzard on top of the grab. And Zachary, not so lucky, is not going to get out. Shattered, frozen, gone. There goes Trill as well. And it's 50% already for NYXL. It's getting really rough for the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, the problem is NYXL can swap back to 3-3 at any time, right? So, or I mean, XL can. So they can swap back to the 3-3 if they lose the fight. And Dallas committed to this DPS composition. They have opportunities, the Excelsior, to switch to something, run the Moira potentially there to stop a lot of the damage. So once they get up to one fight territory, and this is cheeky.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, no.
Cut off. No.
Oh, no.
Caught. That is so rough.
Oh.
What do you do? 80% already for New York. One more fight is all that the Dallas Fuel are going to have to try to flip this one.
AKM dodging icicles.
Oh, man. It's terrifying. It's like the world's most dangerous fair game.
Okay, so here comes the Junkrat tie right now. Can they snipe it out of the air? It's very far away from the point. They're going to try and get onto the high ground with it. Zachary going to try and deal some damage.
Oh, the shield!
Shield!
Just before it passed the shield, he detonated it. And those tires have not been working out for Zachary despite benefit of the fam earlier, though. Ooh, the barrage gets Jonak, but Nene comes right back for the revenge. Now Note gets frozen and charged. He's going to self-destruct. Save will be down. Dallas trying what they can to take this back. Dallas did flip the point, but New York is winning the fight. They could flip it right back, and we're at 99% right now. New York, when it comes down to it, in the clutch.
Well, it's a 4 versus 3, and the Primal Rage is out. AGAM is coming back. They could finish. Nano Boost now onto Trill. They need to get the eliminations, though, before the XL players return.
Oh, he dodges the Earth Shatter, too. Does not get hit with that one. Dallas getting some percentage here.
Soldier 76, swap for Nene. Samuel, oh, the Blizzard.
Yep.
Now they have to come back onto the point to fight, and the Blizzard is here.
When the ability's named after the company that makes the game, you know it's going to be strong. And Sabiobly throws it in. Dallas Fuel, everybody caught in that one. It's flipped back by New York already. And NYXL coming up clutch. Going back, winning 3 maps in a row. Zachary kills Jonak, but it's going to be so tough for them to keep pushing this here. Note gets in there with the, or gets res, but Nene with the swap over to the Soldier 76, the damage too much. And Dallas Fuel with a great start to this series, but in the end, it's gonna be New York taking the win.
The reverse sweep by the NYXL. Fascinating series from these teams. You could definitely tell New York was made uncomfortable by the tailored strats that the Dallas Fuel brought in today, and it pushed them to the brink. But they still stand victorious.
I mean, Dallas had a lot of great strategies coming into the series against New York Excelsior. There was a lot of effective stuff on the first and second maps. Even map 4 was very, very close too. So New York's sweating a little bit because other teams are going to be able to take this and use it against them as well.
Yeah, and I think you look at this and it's a bummer, I think, for the Dallas Fuel, but at the same time, that's the best we've seen them in Stage 3.
It really is. It's
so
encouraging performance.
It's certainly an encouraging performance in a team that still, if they can get it together, stands a chance at making the season playoffs via the play-in.
Yeah.
So it's not over for the Dallas Fuel by any means yet, and the signs of growth should be looked upon favorably.
Yeah, I think you got to say that, despite losing the series, triumphant return for Taimou. Great day for him. But in the end, New York with the win. Let's send it over to Danny, who's got Sabiobly standing by for an interview.
Thanks, guys. I got Sabiobly from NYXL right here next to me. Everybody make some noise. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your victory. This match, I feel like the first half NYXL was having a bit of a rough time, but after the halftime, you guys were able to turn things around and get the reverse sweep. Sabiobly, how are you able to do that? 쉽게 말씀드리면은 역전승. 좀 처음엔 조금 뉴욕이 힘들어하는 모습을 좀 보이다가 끝에 가서는 승리를 거두시게 되셨는데 어떻게 할 수 있게 됐나요?
일단은 우리가 가져가는 조합을 상대로 카운터를 많이 맞았는데 일단 스크림 2판 졌다고 생각했어요. 그리고 나머지는 이기면 된다고 애들한테 이제 얘기하고 그래서 좀 잘 했던 것 같아요. 그 뒤로는.
Alright, so going into the match, I feel like Dallas Fuel did a really great job of countering our composition, but before halftime, I told the team that, just treat it as a scrim. We just lost 2 scrims, that's it. After we come back in, we could just beat them, and that's what we did. All right, cool. Thank you so much. And also, NYXL is currently the only team that is undefeated in Stage 3. Although you guys have 2 more matches in Atlanta, Sabiobly, do you feel like you guys could actually end Stage 3 undefeated? All wins. 지금 스테이지 3에서 뉴욕만 지금 전승을 계속하고 있는데요. 이번 스테이지 끝까지 전승으로 끝내실 수 있다고 생각하십니까?
이번에 전승을 하게 되면 처음으로 전승을 하는 건데 맞나?
모르겠는데요.
할 수 있을 것 같아요.
Alrighty, so Sabiobly's not too sure if this is the first time, if they do go undefeated the whole stage, if this is the first time or not. I think it's the second time. I'm not sure either. You guys actually did go undefeated in Stage 1. So this is going to be your second time, but Sabiobly believes that they could do it again for Stage 3. Alrighty, thank you so much, Sabiobly. Montindo, back to you.
Sabiobly's like, wow, my team's pretty good, actually.
He wasn't playing in Stage 1, so, not surprising he forgot that they went undefeated.
He had bigger concerns at the time. Well, guys, New York taking the series, and with that, they have at least secured themselves a spot in the playoff play-ins at the end of Stage 4. So they can't drop lower than 12.
Even if they lose all of the rest of their matches, which obviously is extraordinarily unlikely, as well as other teams winning all the rest of their matches. So it is guaranteed now, no matter what happens.
Yeah, they're in.
If the worst thing ever happens to Titans and XL, No concerns, at least in the stage plans.
Exactly. So let's go on to our player of the match, brought to you by Omen by HP. It's none other than the main tank Mono, giving the Mono boost to the entire team in that series. Again, so consistent, and we just saw more of that today. When the rest of the team was kind of collapsing around him, this is the guy that played Sol the entire time.
It was, I think, difficult for the DPS players on the XL roster, Neme, Libero, and Sebilby, to make a big impact, at least in the earlier parts of this series. But Mono routinely able to coordinate with his supports to make the space necessary to come back in this match. So it's kind of a rough day all around for the NYXL, but together they did make it work against some difficult compositions designed to shut them down.
Well, certainly not the series we were expecting when we came in today. Obviously, Dallas looking like a big underdog, but when the matches actually happen, looking like a pretty even match for New York, which is exciting going forward. But hey, I'll take it. Exciting match first thing on Saturday. Nothing wrong with that, but we're not done yet, guys. Don't go anywhere. We got Boston Uprising taking on the Philadelphia Fusion right after this. Achilleos is like flexing off camera. He's ready, guys. We're
so
ready to watch
excited.
you. You're ready to enjoy it. We'll see you in a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.